Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me on a very special video. This is my 1000th video that I've had out on YouTube. So I kind of thought, well, what could I do? What could I do that's special for 1000 videos? I know, I will do a room tour. Now, I haven't done a full one out here on YouTube since we moved into the house just over a year ago, but I thought, this is perfect timing. I've been living in the room for a year. I've got it perfect and fine-tuned and everything, so I thought I'd bring you on a tour. So I'm stood in my doorway at the moment. So there's my doorway, and as you can see, I have got sloping ceilings over there. It is a large room. It's the upstairs of a double garage. My husband's garage is right below us, right down there. Hence why you can sometimes hear him on videos. So, and I've got a kitten trying to follow me. I think she's going to come in as well. Oh! No, she's not. She's going to run away. So if I come into the room and then pan round, if I'm in the centre of the room, that's the doorway where I came in, and I have got quite distinctive zones. And I will go into detail in a second, but this is my office area here with a great big curving desk, my photo area, my postage, well actually it's sort of storage and stuff, my husband's seating area, and then we're into my craft area with my paper racks, and my big desk unit there, and then storage. So it's a great big room, and yes, I have got sloping ceilings, and I considered what I could put under there. Well, the most obvious thing was actually to put me under there, and then I could have my very big tall units in my big gaps. So let me drag this chair out of the way. I have got, a lot of it is Ikea, and I have got Ikea chairs actually, but I did take the arms off them because it means that I can have them at the highest and they go under my desk. So over here, let me just come right back. I sit in a U shape, as you can see. That's how my desk goes. And all of this, let me come right the way back. You can see I've actually had to follow the slope of the ceiling, which I've done with Ikea Billy units, and these racks here are catalogues go in those. So those are actually old catalogues. Those are German and French, and those are all my English ones. Accounting paperwork, envelopes, and then these are my notes for when I'm writing blog posts and stuff. These diaries. So everything in here is in use. I do think it's very important to surround yourselves in pretties. So I do have pretty things. It's a photograph of Chris and myself at our engagement party. A gift from one of my team. So you can see, and it's a very peaceful part of the room because it's soft, very, very soft colours. The greens and the greys, very, very soft. I do have some of my awards up here. So those are my Papercraft Blog of the Year for 2017. Where am I pointing? 2017 and 2018 there. My South Hill Designs awards, so my 2 number 1s for enrolling and team leading, and then my whole team was 6th in the company, awards from Stampin' Up. So it's important for me to keep those out and on display. This one here is past catalogues, gifts from my upline and for Stampin' Up, as in cards and stuff. Again, a few more pretties. Things down there. This is a file folder that I keep with letters that go out to my team. All my team recognition stuff is down here. So I do an awful lot of recognition for my team. They are so important to me. So when they recruit or they sell or they have an anniversary or I'm welcoming to them to the team, so there's all their gifts and stuff are in there. These four, they hold cards that I've made, written, blogged and photographed. Again, a few more pretties. Just pretty things that are nice. This was a gift from one of my team. Notebooks that I tend to write in. Again, this is it's a very calm room. Little faux pot plant up there. These lights, I wish I could turn them off, but I need to get underneath the desk to do it. They are... they're lovely. It's dark grey, pale grey, white and pale pink. And then these ones, you can see them a little bit better. I've got the green, so they are cable and cotton. Amazing. Obviously, you know, my printer, my giant printer. I think there's a certificate back there for British Craft with the British Craft Awards. These are just my stationery files, more accounts paperwork. And obviously my desk area where I sit and work and blog. And I've got bubbles on my screen at the moment. It's normally Yes, there it is, it's berry. So just a very nice area, but well battered. I've had this desk for years. It's all chipped and nasty on the edges, but I love it. But it's a very long desk, so it's 120 centimetres there, 120 centimetres in that direction, and from there to the back, and then another one that's 120 centimetres there with more stuff. This little guy under here, this is my letter sorter. I will do a video of this on another occasion, but not a letter sorter, sorry, it folds letters. When you're sending 180 to 200 customer thank you letters, actually folding the letters takes an awful long time, so I decided to invest in a piece of machinery that would do it for me, and it does fold them all for me. Brilliant. And then this is just, I tend not to have anything in folders and stuff as far as crafting, but in here I've got my headphones, and then I've got my scales for postage stuff, and I think down here, yeah, just pots. I've got boxes of tissues and air fresheners, so that's that kind of stuff that lives down there. On here, yes, I have a cat bed on my desk. All of these goodies here, these I will be filming. I can't remember whether these are going to come out before or after this video comes out, but these are when people send me things in the post. I like to get them out on video, so there's a big pile of stuff, cards and things, so they'll be waiting to be filmed. And then over here is my photography area. So under here I've got lenses and camera equipment there. I've got down here I've got my tripod. I've got actually bizarrely a spare leg for a table, another pop-up studio, but this is my studio. So, and these are projects waiting to be filmed. And let me see if I can turn this on. I'm going to turn this the other way because it might go very, very bright. And this is a Foldio 360, and it's the I think it's a 360, but it's the very latest one. So it's all spotlights. So there's LED lights up here and on the side. So it means that obviously it's a little bit distorted with the lights versus the filming. But I take white photos. I don't need to worry about, you know, what the lighting is like. But yeah, you will. These are what I'm waiting to take photographs of, although I think probably one or two of them will have come out on video before this one comes out. Seriously, it's like being in a TARDIS, going backwards and forwards in time. So that's the lights off. Over here, these two cupboards are where I keep envelopes and stuff. So envelopes and mailing equipment and things there. So you can see all my jiffy bags, I do all of my mailing myself, so I have to have these special labels for bags. So obviously first class, second class, and then for my team in France, Germany, Austria, and the Netherlands. So these are all my special things for it. I don't keep my mailing sacks up here. So this is kind of stationery. Those are refills for my postage printer, and then behind that one behind there is stuff. Again, I don't use very much, but you'll recognise a few bits up here. Yeah, cat basket. It was actually a layette basket when I had a baby, but when I had my first son, who's nearly 15 now. Actually, he will be 15 by the time you see this. But the cats love it. Just little bits that I occasionally put in the back of my videos, back of my photos. You'll have seen those before. Spare boxes. And this is Chris's zone. And he sits in here. This is a Charles Eames chair, which put that, with a separate footstool. And this was my gift to him when we moved in here. It was an awful lot of money. But he sits in there. And yes, he chose the cushion. But he sits in there when I'm working. And this is an old iPad here that he's got. So he can see me. That would be the back of me in that direction. Or, I don't know that I can get round the side of me in that direction. But what he's got it on, if you're an iPad fan, this is a music stand. And he's got it clamped. He's got his iPad in there. Right, so we're into the craft zone here. So I'm going to have to come all the way back. I know I'm going to get questions about these paper racks. They are 12 by 12 paper racks. I went to eBay because I work in both 12 by 12 and A4, which is longer but narrower than 8.5 by 11. I wanted 12 by 12 racks so that I could get both 12 by 12 and A4 in there. Each of them, there's 30 slots on each one. And so that's all coloured cardstock. I'll explain that in a second when I get closer. And then paper basics, and they'll design a series paper. But obviously we're between catalogues at the moment, but yeah, eBay, don't pay more than about £25 for them. Brand new, they cost, well over £100, but I love them. So, and then underneath, I've got spare cardstock. Oh, where's my finger? There. Spare Whisper White, spare colour cardstock, and actually that little section in the middle are my customer thank you cards, which are they're all ready done, enveloped and everything, just waiting to go out. And then in here, this is our big media unit that bounces all over the house. I've got customer thank yous that are ready to go out. I've done samplers this month for people who shopped in April, ready to go out. And then these are, when I'm working on customer gifts, they go in here in different stages. So obviously this one here would have had lots of different stages to it. It would have had the paper, it would have had the punching, it would have had the ribbons. So they kind of go in here. So I work with this on a work in progress kind of basis. But yeah, so coming to my paper racks, how I've organised them, the best one probably to show you would be Bermuda Bay, which is this one. So each colour has 2 spaces. You can see this lovely one here, Highland Heather. So there's 2 spaces for each colour. So Bermuda Bay has 12 by 12 cardstock that goes on the bottom, and then a one above it has full sheets of A4 and the scraps to go with it. And that's how it works. We do have something else that will be going on the 12 by 12 shelf. I'm not going to give you too much detail, but all of my colours have got 2 slots. So one for 12 by 12 and one for A4 with the scraps above. And I might swap them around a bit, but that's Paper Basics up there. So, well, not glimmer paper because that's all retired for the moment. A foil cardstock, there'll be more Paper Basics going in there. I think that's watercolour paper. That's my shimmery white, my 12 by 12, Whisper White and what have you. And then designer series papers will all fill up these bits here. And so my order is, and again, I know I'll get the questions, that is the in colours there, mixed together, the 2 sets of in colours, neutrals, which has got the Merry Mallow, Mossy Meadow and Night of Navy, subtles there, regals and brights. Okay, out of breath. Over here are my stamp shells. Now normally these are all full, including that one as well, and I tend to put seasonal over there. So I had spring over there, and obviously some of it's retired, or it might be Christmas. And I used to do them in type order. And obviously, like I say, they're very empty because we're between catalogues, so I've taken out retired. But I used to do it in type, so I used to have all the flowers in one section, all the animals and stuff. And so I've decided I was going to do it in alphabetical order, which only works if you know the name of the stamp set. But I'm having a bash at that. And actually, I did have a new stamp set beginning with B come in, so I'm like, oh, it fitted perfectly. But yeah, this is also stamp storage. So this is great for wood mount or DVD. Fits in there brilliantly. But in my case, currently, I've got some prototypes I've been working on, sitting on it, and some memories and more. And then down here, so this great big area here, I actually don't work on this area, as in I don't sit and craft at it. This is my storage space for when I'm about to film. So these guys here are waiting to be filmed, and when it becomes the day for filming, I will put them out in order. So obviously I have a video that comes out Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Move that one as well. So I will say, well, that's the Monday, that's the Wednesday, that's the Friday, and I will have them all lined up with all of the cardstock and stamp sets needed to complete that project. And they will sit there. Look, this is my 10-sided box. 10-sided twist and close. But obviously I'm not filming them at the moment. So they are just sitting here waiting for me to decide which order they're in. So yeah, they're all ready. Stuff inside. Can't remember what's going in there. Can't remember what's going in any of them. This thing here, I'm always forever being asked about this. I love it. It's about £16 from Amazon by a company called Pootles, Boxalls. This section at the back here holds a sheet of A4. Let me grab one. Oh, that's 12 by 12. Let me grab a sheet of A4. Holds A4 in the back, like that. And in that section there, so if you can see, we've got lots of little divided sections. But this is where I work when I'm working on customer gifts or thank you cards, because thank you cards become quite tall when you're in the work in progress stage. If I stand that one up, they're quite tall, so they're too tall for the plastic boxes I showed you before. And these are actually customer gifts I'm working on at the moment. So the DSP is all cut ready, and the cardstock for me to do some die cutting is all ready as well. But yeah, I get lots of questions about that. So it's a company called Pootles. This is my new gift to myself. It's an electronic Sizzix. The only electronic Big Shot. The only reason I have it is that I cannot hand crank die cuts for 180 gifts or cards. I've done it a couple of times and it actually does really hurt. So one of my team has one of these and I watched it in action and I thought, I've got to have one. So yes, so I've been electronically die cutting shapes. So, and I've still got an awful lot to do. But it's brilliant. So it sits plugged in all of the time, well, most of the time. My crazy plug system for all sorts of things. This little thing, godsend, absolute godsend. It's, I want to say it's a Klimpen, it's Ikea, very expensive, it's £20. And obviously it's designed to hold A4 paper. I wouldn't buy more than one, but it's perfect for my very vanilla and Whisper White full sheets of A4, and then scraps of A4, Whisper White, and smaller pieces of these sitting there. And then my under here, as you can see, we probably can't see, let me grab it. I work on a clipboard when I'm writing notes, so this one I have actually filmed all of those, so that's where all my notes are. And then under here, this one is to be filmed, so this clipboard with all of these notes on relates to all of those projects over there, and this lot relates to all of the ones over there waiting to be filmed. And I just have notebooks in there to remind me how many projects I need to make or what have you. And then if I drag this chair out of the way, so this is the whole of my craft zone. So that is 120 centimetres to there, 120 centimetres to there, 200 all the way to there, and another 120. So that's a lot of desk space. I do have stuff underneath. I've got my manual trimmer. I've got my electronic semi-automated paper cutter and paper scorer. Obviously it doesn't sit out on the desk the whole time because I don't need it all the time, but I love it, and I have got that out on YouTube. This stool here was my grandmother's. My grandmother passed away in January, and I, as a little girl, and given that I'm 44 now, many, many years ago, I used to sit on that at dinner, and when I saw it was in her house, I asked if I could have it. So yeah, I've got it. My desk is mostly empty underneath. I don't really have stuff. Stuff there is actually hostess gifts. I've got an Archon stand, which I don't really use very often, and a really old Stampin' Up storage box for dies. And actually I put my feet on it. When I'm sitting, my feet go up on it. But this is the area that I work in. This section, well actually it's kind of that section from there to there is my crafting area. You know what I'm like, don't put it down, put it away. And it does always look like this, but I have a great space. I have got quite a deep windowsill, quite deep from front to back, so I'm able to get storage up on there. In this light it looks really cluttered, but in real life it's actually not. But I've got more acrylic storage here, and these are separates. This bit lifts off away from here, so I've got a set of drawers for twines, for embellishments here. My lovely empty Yankee Candle jars. These are waiting for things to go in. I've got a couple of daubers in that one. I'm forcing myself to make them, but yeah, these are waiting for storage or waiting for embellishments. This one here is a letter tray, and much like I have my Whisper White over there, I have basic black here, but I do have the A4 sheets as well as the scraps, scissors and stuff there. This one is a great one. It's quite shallow, so it's all those fiddly little bits that you just kind of need to fling somewhere. So my little miniature spirit level tells me that my camera is set up perfectly straight when I'm filming. A lip balm, clips, my stylus is just little fiddly bits like that. Again, this one is quite empty at the moment, but I have all my watercolouring stuff, pearls back there, the Share What You Love embellishment kit, stuff from my camera. Look, there's more. Another set of another spirit level, and these will go back to being full again when I've got nice embellishments and things, and this one obviously you can see. And then under here I've got my brand new ink caddies. Now we've obviously got new ink coming. That's the new, that's the old, and we've retired our current colour caddy and we're waiting for a new one to be built. But actually this fits really quite nicely. It's 2, that's one of them, and it will hold 32 of those, or up to and including the largest punches. But it's here for the moment, and it fits really, really well underneath my windowsill with enough light, enough space for my LED lights to come on. I've got, I don't know if you can see it, let me move that out of the way, an Ikea, I can't remember, I want to say Mosslander picture ledge. So that's my clear blocks sit on there, and then my glues are in a caddy, although I don't really move it very often. And then coming round, I created this sort of divider space, and I've clearly moved my desk. This sort of divider from the other side of the room, and I am waiting to get something, sort of like a blanking panel for here. But it's almost like I've created this kind of cubby space, like a cubicle for myself. And along the top, normally from this point here all the way to about here is full of ribbon. And yes, of course, I have them in rainbow order. But again, we've retired loads, so I've just got a little section at the moment. But it works very well. These are Bester. My big tall ones over there are Billy, but these are Bester because they are shallow. I didn't want the very deep ones. So I've got spare stamping scrubs, I've got my blends in there, colouring equipment. These are my punch boards and stuff. So things that I don't need to get to very often but are there ready. And obviously I've got my colouring equipment. This one, obviously you can see punches there, and then these are all note cards and envelopes, and we've got new ones on their way out, so they're all under there ready. Over here is my sort of, it's kind of a Big Shot station. The Big Shot doesn't move from there, and I've got Big Shots, I've got framelits and stuff here, and embossing folders, and actually this is one that I'm working with at the moment. And so they all sit there, and then I've got spare Big Shot stuff under there, so different plates and what have you there and there, and my stamperators, couldn't think what it was called. So this is the area I sit and actually craft in, but I can reach everything here. And obviously because of the way IKEA desks are set up, they are mostly 60 centimetres front to back, and Bester is 60 centimetres, and obviously with this one being 120 centimetres, I could fit 3 on there. I don't keep very much stuff in drawers. Now I do have drawers, and I will show you. My top one has got trimmers and trimmer blades. This one is embossing equipment. And then into here, we're now into sort of inspiration zones. So none of my crafting, oh look, a spare new ones, I'm having an overhaul. I haven't had new sponges in years. But yeah, so this is inspiration stuff really. Stuff that I might put inside a box. And again, more stuff that would go inside a box. No, that's not real money, it's foreign money. So things that might go in a box or a bag. And over on this side, this set of drawers, this is my glue drawer, and then these are spare embellishments, so I only have out 1 packet at a time, spare embellishments and spare bags, and then duplicate stamp sets where I've messed up an order, and then just, these are bin bags really for my bin. So nothing is hidden away. If it's not out, I forget to remember to use it, so all my crafting stuff is on display. and it's a very, very comfortable room. Let me bring that back. I have a great big window, so this is looking out at the front of my house, so I live on a private drive. And so that's my neighbour's house, so we're number 3, that's number 4, and that's number 5, and I don't know if I can see our windmill from here. I don't think I can, no, oh yes, you can just see the top of it. Hang on, just see the top there. We have a windmill in their garden, so literally just a few strides away. But I also have a window on the other side of the room that faces out the back, so that's part of my back garden down there. And yeah, it's a very comfortable room, it's very light. I have got the main lights on at the moment, but it works brilliantly. And then my final area that I wanted to show you is sort of my irritating, annoying storage area. Now, Kallax for me is way too big, it's too deep, and I am permanently irritated by storage boxes. Just because they are storage boxes and you have to tip everything out to get to the bottom of it. I don't really use this anymore, or Rascog, or however you meant to say it, so it kind of ends up as a storage place. So I've got stuff under here that my children have made and gifts I've got, bits and stuff, so I don't really use it, but this is my rainbow zone. I love rainbows, I've had rainbows for years. This is a really, really old paper chase box, really old, tray rather, really, really old. Little pots that my mum bought me donkeys years ago, and I've been into rainbows since forever. And it's kind of, once people got into the, oh yeah, Sam likes rainbows, it kind of became a bit of a thing. But I'll have to show you my newest thing. My little rainbow lights. Upside down rainbows. Let me find one who's the right way up. None of them are. They're all upside down. But totally adorable. They have got smiley faces on. There's one that's the right way round. But they're very cute, so they run off a battery, so I'm just flipping it on and off. And then just stuff that my team have bought me. This was a Christmas gift and it had gin in it. Or they had gin in them. But all of these have got, I think these are raffle prizes. That's an empty one at the moment. Promotion rewards for my team. Oh, those flipping kittens have got in that box. Promotion rewards and things for the team when they promote up titles. So those do need nice deep boxes, but kind of these have got stuff that I probably won't ever remember to use because they're deep boxes. I do have my own Hoover in here. I don't think you can see it in the light. I think the light's probably gone. But it is a battery operated wireless Hoover that's got a little handheld bit on it as well. And it's absolutely brilliant and I love it. And it's only for this room, and it's brilliant at getting up dimensional backs. And then again here, this was a leftover. So these were Kallax that were left over from my old craft space, which, like I say, they don't work for me because I don't want to have my crafting stuff in boxes because I'd never pull it out. But this, I don't know if you can see, there we go. Amazing little cluster of twinkle lights that they actually show up as purple. There's 3 sets there, pink, blue and a lilac. And just really old pictures. This was my very first craft fair with Jack when he was about 6 months old, and he's 15 now. And then, I don't know, I think that was the day I met the Prince Edward and Sophie at an event. And then just, you know, junk boxes really of stuff. So this is my irritated corner. Although I do love this. I was given that when my son Jacob was born. And it's pink because they didn't have any blue ones. And just up here to finish, a lovely card that I was given when I was with Southall Designs, as well as Stampin' Up. So it was all the bling and the jewellery, and a Stampin' Up bag. And then a couple of my very first video tutorials. Oops, oh, I just knocked it off. A couple of my very first video tutorials, and those boxes will never go. And another older one up here. So they just live up there. And then finally, my name tag from when I was in Thailand. This was on my door the whole time. Oh, no, one more bit. You're amazing, you're important, you are special, you're unique, you are precious, you are loved. In a rainbow. And my Wi-Fi codes. And so that is my room. It's got delicate little pieces. It's got my beautiful butterflies. It's got my soft, super soft area. my crazy rainbow lights around here, cable and cotton, and yeah, my happy zone. Bye.